Alright, David Harry here, and what I've got in front of me is a Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and sitting next to it here is a wireless power bank by ESR. So what I'm going to do in this video is show you a few different ways that this battery can be used with the S23 Ultra. And for transparency, ESR sent me this battery for free in exchange for a review, although no money has changed hands. Okay, so to start off with then, I am going to do a quick run around the battery and give some technical information about it. Now this is the HaloLock Mini Kickstand Wireless Power Bank, once again by ESR, and this is part of ESR's HaloLock range. Now as we can clearly see on the front here, this has got the magnetic arrangement which makes it compatible with MagSafe. Now although this battery is technically designed for use with MagSafe devices such as iPhones, it works absolutely fantastically with the S23 Ultra. So looking at the bottom of the battery first of all, and we have a line of LED indicators which are activated by a button on the left hand side of the battery. And once the LED indicators have been activated, these will tell us certain information such as the level of battery power that we've got left. Also, it will indicate and tell us whether we are in wireless charging mode or whether we are in wired charging mode, because this particular battery can be used as a standard wired battery as well. And on the right hand side of the battery we have got a USB-C port. Now this is fast charge compatible, and this is what we use to charge up the battery, but also we can use this to output power like I've just mentioned, to use the battery as a standard wired battery. And the top edge of the battery doesn't have any ports on it, although it does have one of the ESR logos which is Tech Made Easier. And then finally to the rear of the battery, and what we have here is one of ESR's patented technologies which is Kickstand. So this is basically a stand that you kick out, and this will actually prop up any device which is magnetically compatible with the battery. And as far as power is concerned, this is a 10,000 milliamp hour battery. It can supply 7.5 watts wirelessly, and if you use it as a traditional wired battery, it can supply power at 20 watts. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just try some wireless charging examples, and the first thing that I'm going to try is the phone on its own. So all we need to do is just make sure that somewhere around, like, you know, the center of the phone here is lined up with the ring on the battery there. So let's give this a go. So I'm just going to try and line it up there, and we will feel a bit of a magnetic pull. As we can see there, it is definitely charging. Now although there is definitely a magnetic attraction between the battery and the phone, it is not strong enough to just leave the battery attached to the back of the phone, because the battery will come off easy. Let me just show you. So if I lift the phone up here and put my hand underneath, the battery, if I just wiggle it a bit, the battery will come off. So you can't just leave it like attached to it and hope that it stays on magnetically. This really is just for popping it down on a desktop. And now what I'm going to do is to test the phone inside of a case, and this is a CamShield Pro case by Nilkin, and this is the one that I actually use the most because this is awesome for protecting your lenses. So once again, just kind of get it somewhere into the center of the back of the phone when it turns over. So that's somewhere into the center of the back of the phone, and as we can see, it is charging. And now to the third and final example to test here, and that is to use the phone inside of a MagSafe compatible case by Encased. Now of course we do expect this one to work because we are now testing two MagSafe compatible components. However, there is a bit of an issue with this, and I will explain this after I've done the test. So what I'm going to do is obviously now just flip the phone in its case back over onto the battery, but this time we are definitely going to get a strong magnetic attraction due to the magnetic system of the battery and also that metal ring system inside of the case. And as we can see there, that is definitely working. However, now I will show you the problem with this particular setup. So taking a close-up look here, as we can see, where the ring is inside the case, there's hardly any distance between it and where that raised bump section is that goes around the cameras to protect it. Now, what that means is there are only certain MagSafe devices which will actually connect cleanly to the ring. Other MagSafe devices require a bit more space around the ring in order to connect. So certain devices such as this battery, which require a little bit more space beyond that ring, will not make a clean magnetic connection to the back of this particular case. So whilst this definitely works as far as the actual power delivery is concerned, the problem we have got, and I don't know if we can see this that well, but there is a gap at the top of the battery to the ring on the back of the case here. And now this has got nothing to do with the battery, this is not the fault of the battery, but what it is, this bump system that goes around the cameras basically gets in the way. And the reason why we have these slight anomalies is basically because MagSafe was designed for iPhones, and obviously any of this clearance and tolerance was designed for those. So where we might get away with certain things on other devices such as certain Android phones like this one, it doesn't really mean that it's going to always work correctly. And just before I forget, although this case does have particular issues, the magnetic attraction still really is good, as we can see there, which basically means we can use the kickstand feature on the battery. So I'm just gonna kick out the stand, and then there we go. We can set the phone up like that and basically look at the phone nicely in portrait mode as it is charging. Actually, it also works in landscape mode as well. Okay, so there we have it then, the HaloLock Mini Kickstand Wireless Power Bank by ESR, which is also MagSafe compatible, and it works fantastically well with the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. There will be Amazon links in the video description below, taking you to all the stuff that I've used in this video. And if you've liked the video, please do give it a thumbs up, and you may even want to consider subscribing to my channel, or maybe just checking out the playlist that I'll be doing for the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, because that will build up over time. Anyways, I'm David Harry, thank you very much for watching this video, take care and goodbye now.